Hello everyone. Today we discuss class 11 first chapter some basic concept of chemistry. Some basic concepts of chemistry. This is the first chapter of class 11. Basically in this chapter we study what is chemistry, what we study in chemistry, meanings of chemistry. So chemistry is basically branch of science that we study structure, composition and properties of matter. Matter, that means we study only atoms and molecule parts. That's why chemistry is called science of atom and molecules. So in chemistry we study structure, composition and properties of matter. Properties of matter. Matter means we study only atoms and molecules parts. That means atoms and molecules. So that's why chemistry is called science of atom and molecules. We study transformation of atoms and molecules. So in this class we will study what is chemistry, we know chemistry is very important for our day-to-day life. Next one we will study importance of chemistry. Importance of chemistry. In chemistry we study atoms and molecule, that means matter. So next we study what is matter. So matter are classified on the basis of physical properties and on the basis of chemical property. That's why next we will study types of matter. Types of matter. Matter, that means atoms and molecules. So Dalton give some postulates to explain about an atom. Next we'll discuss Dalton's atomic theory. Dalton's atomic theory. This is very important for NEET exam. So first is that what is chemistry? The study of structure, composition, properties of atoms and molecule. Also we study transformation of atom and molecule. That's why chemistry is called science of atom and molecule. Importance of chemistry. We know chemistry is very important for our day-to-day life. For example, food. Chemistry involved in case of food. Chemistry determine which food are healthy and avoid food are harmful in health. How and why chemical reaction are occur and affect our health. Next one is that cleaning product. For example, soap. Chemists know how work soap with dirty and clean the surfaces. Next one is that the medicine. We know cisplatin and Taxol is used for the cancer patients and azithromycin is used for the AIDS patient. So chemists know how can atom and molecule to combine from a medicine. So chemistry is very important. Next one is that the matter. This paint property is that A pen have mass and also occupying volume in space. That's why this is called a matter. The substances have mass and also occupying volume in space is called matter. This pen, this board, our surrounding, those substances have mass and also occupying volume in space is called a matter. So matter are classified on the basis of physical properties and on the basis of chemical properties. Physical classification, physical classification, chemical classification. Physical classification means matter classified on the basis of observable property. For example, density, melting point, boiling point, color, order, these are called a physical classification. Similarly, in case of chemical classification, means matter classified on the basis of composition, combustion, reactivity with acid and base is called a chemical classification. We know atom and molecule combine to form another molecule. That means uses reactant and product are different. So matter are classified on the basis of chemical property is called a chemical classification. If you unable to imagine atom and molecule, you consider atom like hydrogen, helium, lithium, like alphabet A, B, C. We know alphabet are combined to form a word cat, dog. So the meaning are different. Similarly, atom are combined to form a molecule H2, O2, water. The uses are different H2O2 and H2O. So that's why matter are classified on the basis of chemical property is called a chemical classification. So on the basis of physical properties, matter are classified three categories. One is called solid, another one is called a liquid, next one is called a gas. Solid means this pen have definite shape and also definite volume. These are called a solid. For example, this pen, this board, our surrounding, those substances have definite shape and definite volume is called a solid. Next one is the liquid. We know water. If we transfer water from bottle to beaker, the same property of bottle and beaker is that the same volume of water, but shape are different. One is bottle shape and one is the beaker shape. So the substances have definite volume but not definite shape is called a liquid. Next one is that the gas. Gas means our surrounding all air are gases. So the substances does not have definite shape and definite volume is called a gas. For example, if we take two nitrogen molecule in any room, that means shape and volume is that room. Suppose if we take two nitrogen molecule, one bottle, that means volume and shape will be that bottle. So these are called a gas. Actually, we know matter are made up of the particle. As per concept of particle, in case of solid, the particle are closely packed. That means empty space between the particle is very small. As per concept of particle, in case of solid, particle are closely packed. That means empty space between the particle is very small. Due to fixed position of particle, the particle have only vibrational motion. So the attraction among the particle is called a interparticle forces. The interparticle forces in case of solid is higher. So that's why the solid is definite volume and definite shape. Next one is that the liquid. In case of liquid, the particle are loosely packed. That means the empty space between the particle are large compared to their solid. That means the attraction forces between the particle are weaker as compared to their solid, but not weak enough that can separate the particle from one another. That's why the liquid have definite volume but not definite shape. In case of gas, particle are loosely packed. That means the interaction between the particle is very weaker. So the particle move its corner of the vessel. The movement of particle is very fast and easy. So that's why matter does not have definite shape and definite volume is called gases. So these are same figures show in your textbook. In case of solid, the particle are closely packed. That means the attraction between the particle is very high. That's why the solid have definite shape and definite volume. In case of liquid, the particle are loosely packed as compared to their solid. That means they are present weak force of attraction between the particle as compared to that solid. That's why liquid have definite volume but not definite shape. Next one is that a gas. We know the particle are loosely packed. The empty space between a particle is very high. That means the interaction among the particle is very low. The particle move easily its corner of the container. That's why the particle does not have definite shape and definite volume. Is called a gas. So similarly, in case of chemical classification, matter are classified two categories. One is called mixers. Another one is called pure substances. Mixer means the matter contain two or more than two components is called a mixer. For example, tea, it contains caffeine, water, sugar. These are called a mixer. So again, mixer is classified two categories. One is called homogeneous mixer, another one is called heterogeneous mixer. Homogeneous mixers, another one is called a heterogeneous mixer. Homogeneous mixer means the mixer component are uniform distribution. For example, if you take beaker, then fill with water. After that, you add NaCl particle. After mixing, your naked eyes cannot distinguish it contain the NaCl and water. Your naked eyes see only clear water solution. The particle uniformly distributed throughout the solution, but our naked eyes only see clear water solution. So these are called homogeneous mixture. Example of homogeneous mixture is that NaCl solution. Similarly, in case of heterogeneous mixture means the particular non-uniform distribution. For example, if we take one beaker, then fill with water. After that, we add some pieces of wood. After mixing, our naked eye distinguished it contained the wood pieces and water. The wood pieces is separated on the surface of water. That means the particular non-uniform distribution. Wood pieces are present on the surface of water. So these are called the heterogeneous mixtures. Example of heterogeneous mixture is that wood pieces in water. Similarly, pure substances means water. It contains 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. That means fixed composition of component. It does not present other element. So these are called the pure substances. So pure substances again classified to category. One is called elements. Another one is called a compounds. Element means we know the smallest particle of matter is called a element. Example of element is that atoms and molecule. Atoms, molecules. Atom means the smallest indivisible particle of element that may or may not be exist independently. For example, atom is that sodium, potassium. Similarly, we know molecule are from combining of 2 or more than 2 atoms. So, in case of molecule, it combines 2 or more than 2 same type of atom is called a molecule. For example, oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen. Similarly, compound like molecules. So, compound are from combining 2 or more than 2 atoms. Is called a compound. So compound means it contains 2 or more than 2 atoms is called a compound. So compound are again classified to category. One is called organic and another one is called a inorganic. So we will detail discuss organic compounds and inorganic compounds in organic chemistry and inorganic chemistry. Just you simply remember one thing: the compound contain carbon-hydrogen bond is called a organic compound. For example, methane. So the presence of carbon-hydrogen bond is called a organic compound. Similarly, in case of inorganic compound, the compound does not contain carbon-hydrogen bond. It presents other bond like nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur, hydrogen is called an inorganic compound. Actually, the main idea of matter is the Greek philosopher Democritus. There are many experimental proofs, but in 1808, John Dalton published a new system of chemical philosophy of Dalton atomic theory. So now we discuss Dalton atomic theory. Dalton's atomic theory. Dalton gives some postulates to explain about an atom. Postulates look, this is chalk pieces. If I break it, it converted smaller pieces, but still called it is a chalk. That means matter. Suppose if I keep breaking continue, it converted to smaller and smaller pieces, but still called a chalk. That means matter. Imagine this chalk pieces converted to infinite time. So according to Dalton, after infinity division of these chalk pieces, it convert a indivisible particle. These are Dalton called atoms. Actually, matter are physically divisible, but ultimately we found a indivisible particle. So these are called a atom. So first postulate of Dalton atomic theory is that the indivisible particle of matter is atom. The indivisible particle of matter is atom. This chalk pieces, it is again I break, it is converted smaller pieces. But did any atom form or destroyed? No, just rearrangement occur of this millions of calcium carbonate. So second postulate of Dalton atomic theory is that atom is neither created nor destroyed, just rearrangement occur like this chalk pieces. First, this chalk pieces is that one pieces. After that, I divided into two pieces. That means its rearrangement occur. Similarly, atom is neither created nor destroyed, just rearrangement occur in a chemical reaction. So second postulate of John Dalton theory is atom is neither created nor destroyed. Look, this chalk pieces, I converted chalk powder. That means it converted tiny particle. Imagine this tiny particle is the indivisible particle. If we pick one particle and compare with other particle, that means same material, same mass and same other properties. Similarly, third postulate of John Dalton theory is that all atoms of specific element are identical property, including mass, size, and other properties. So, third postulate of John Dalton theory is that all atoms of specific element have identical property including mass. This Dalton atomic theory is very important in NEET exam. NEET examiner already asks question from Dalton atomic theory, not just simple one line question. The question is statement based question. I modify this question is MCQ type. So the question is, according to Dalton atomic theory, the ultimate indivisible unit of matter is, first option is mole, second option is molecule, third option is atom, fourth option is ion. So try to recall postulates of Dalton atomic theory. So the postulates of Dalton atomic theory is that first postulate is atom is indivisible particle, second is that atom is neither created nor destroyed, just its rearrangement occur. Next one is that all specific elements have identical properties including mass, size and other property. So the first postulate of John Dalton theory is that atom is indivisible particle. So our correct option is atom, the ultimate indivisible particle, that means atom. So Dalton atomic theory is very important for law of chemical combination. It includes NEET 2025. So next class we will discuss also law of chemical combination. So far we have discussed Dalton atomic theory. The Dalton atomic theory is the great starting in 1808, but with time it found some mistake or limitation. Next we discuss limitation of Dalton atomic theory. Limitation. Actually, Dalton assumed the constituent particle of matter is atom, but modern science we found constituent particle can be atom, molecule and ion. For example, we know water. In case of water, the hydrogen and oxygen does not singly independently exist. So two hydrogen atom and one oxygen atom chemically form bond to form a single substance H2O. So it exists in the form of H2O. Next one is that the NaCl. We know NaCl is exist Na plus and Cl minus. That means constituent particle of matter can be atom, molecules and ions. So Dalton first limitation is, so Dalton atomic theory first limitation is constituent particle of matter can be atoms, molecules and ions. Atoms, molecules and ions. So Dalton atomic theory does not explain real constituent of matter. So this is important limitation of Dalton atomic theory. Next one is that Dalton assumed that indivisible particle of matter is atom, But later on discovery protons, electrons and neutron that proved that atom is divisible into subatomic particle, protons, electrons and neutron. So the second limitation of Dalton atomic theory is that atom is divisible into subatomic particle, that is atoms and molecules. According to Dalton, all the specific element, that means all the same atom have same properties including mass, size and other properties. But we know some atoms have different masses. These are called isotopes. So the third limitation is that isotopes have different atomic masses but same atomic number. For example, protium, deuterium, tritium, these are the isotopes of hydrogen. Example, protium, deuterium, tritium. In case of protium, deuterium, tritium, the atomic number is 1, but mass number is protium is 1, deuterium is 2 and tritium is 3. Similarly, according to John Dalton, the different elements have different properties including mass, size and other properties. But today we know some different elements have same masses. These are called isobars. For example, argon, potassium, calcium. So argon is that atomic number 18, potassium is 19 and calcium is 20. In argon, potassium, calcium, but mass number is 40. So fourth limitation of Dalton atomic theory is that isobar have different atomic numbers but same atomic mass. Example is that potassium atomic number is 19 and mass number is 40, and calcium atomic number is 20, mass number is 40. So in this class we study what is chemistry. Chemistry means the study of structure, composition and properties of atoms and molecules is called a chemistry. We study transformation of atom and molecule. That's why chemistry is called science of atoms and molecules, because we study only atoms and molecule parts. Next one is importance of chemistry. Chemistry is very important. For example, food, cleaning product, medicine, cooking and heating, clothing. That's why chemistry is very important. Matter, this pen property have mass and also occupying volume in space. So these are called a matter. This pen, this board, our surrounding, those substances have mass and also occupying volume is called a matter. Matter are classified on the basis of physical properties and on the basis of chemical properties. Physical property means the property are observable property. Example, boiling point, color, order, melting point, these are called a physical property. On the basis of physical properties, matter are classified three categories: solid, liquid, gas. Similarly, chemical property means chemically different composition, combustion, reactivity with acid and bases is called a chemical properties. So on the basis of chemical properties, matter are classified two categories. One is called mixtures, another one is called the pure substances. Next one is Dalton atomic theory. Dalton gives some postulates to explain about an atom. So first postulate is that atom is indivisible particle. Second one is that atom is neither created nor destroyed, just rearrangement one from to another, just like our chalk experiment. Third one is that all specific elements have same properties including mass, size and other properties.